Italy. I loved Italy. Italy is like one of those countries that you get that spiritual vibe off of. Like, like England is like that, Peru's like that big time, Nepal, Australia, even Korea I got that off of, and maybe even Japan. But yeah, like it was a cool place, dude. And the people there seem nice. Unlike France or Spain, the people there seem like they had zero problem with me being an American. Other than I was like some street kids tried to like pickpocket me one day. They like all swarmed around me, like all these like teenager street kids like surrounded me and held up this like map right to my face, and we're like, "Where are we? Where are we?" And I was like trying to be friendly, like, "Oh, I was gonna like show them. They totally could have robbed me if they wanted to." And then all of a sudden, I feel like this like weight come down on my backpack, like as if my flap on the top of my backpack came down. And then they were like, "Okay, what? Never mind." And they ran off. Like all of a sudden, they like suddenly knew like where they were, and they'd never stole anything from me. So maybe like a passerby stopped and started staring at them and freaked them out, and they ran off. But um, I actually had an Italian friend who told stories about how I used to do that kind of stuff, and so I guess there's lots of like hoodlumism there. But as far as like the people, they were like cool. They seemed totally cool, although they spoke zero English. Like it was like, well, I guess they speak zero English in France and Spain too, but it seemed like even less. And another weird thing about Spain is like it's impossible to find anything. Like they have never heard of a supermarket in Spain, like a big supermarket. Like in America, supermarkets are everywhere. In France, they're all over the place. There's lots of them in France, well, not as many as in America, but in Spain, I don't recall any supermarkets in Spain, but there were like markets and stuff in Spain. And in Italy, there's like no markets. Like where do you get your food? I could never find where to get food. It was weird. And they just have a different way of organizing where their stuff is, I guess. Maybe they sell food in like tiny little holes in the wall is where you would get your food, like lots of little neighborhood stores. Maybe because it's just like an ancient place. But it's really beautiful. Like in the northern part, there's like all these mountains. I looked outside of the train, and it was like a crowded train. It wasn't like a first world experience riding a train there. Lots of stuff about Italy that seemed just kind of like dilapidated, kind of like Spain, but it was like classier. But I looked out of the window and there's this huge mountain, like big mountains there. Um, and of course the aqueducts, you could see them coming into Rome from a long ways away, which is pretty. And Rome was awesome. But a weird thing about Spain is you have to pay extra just to eat inside of a place. So if you get like a pizza and you want to pay less, and you have to eat it outside. But they were nice. Like I ate a pizza and then I came in and then the person asked me to pay more and I was like, what? And some Italian guy was there. Was like, yeah, in Spain you have to do that, and he explained it to me. He's like, yeah, I know it's weird, but but hanging out in Spain and like in Rome for a few days was amazing. I loved Rome because I'd studied it in high school. But yeah, they were nice. They seemed like friendly people, mellow. Um, and then I went down to Pompeii, and all these like there was like a group of kids with the lady who came up and talked to us, and they're like really outgoing. And then I went to Venice and hung out for a night, but all the places were full, all the hostels. But yeah, Italy, people seem nice. Although they're really, their space is like really jam packed. Not like an American. I remember I came up to the subway in Rome near the Colosseum, and the subway stopped, and I was standing right where the door opens, and the door opens, and like two people walk in right before me, and then I walk in, and I guess I was expecting to be the first person in, and people would be waiting behind me to step in. Like in America, if you stand in a line, there's this person, and like a couple feet back, there's this person, and like that. But in Spain, I guess they're all like sardines, packed up, jammed up against each other. Um, yeah, it seemed like none of the stores were labeled. It's just like all these holes in the wall. You don't even know what they're for. Like, where am I gonna get something to eat? Where am I gonna buy this? Like, it was kind of confusing. It would have been a great place to bike tour, but by then I didn't have my bike anymore. So that's what I think about Italy. Italy is great. Italy was a great place to travel.